It's been rough times for some German companies. The country is economically weak. There's a trade war brewing with unknown consequences. In the midst of all this is the earnings season. As companies are opening their books and making forecasts, experts are taking note of unexpected stock buyback programs. Lars Holter is with DW and joins me from Berlin. Lars, what can you tell us about these buybacks?
Thanks for having me. Well, indeed, that there's massive amounts of money on the line. Of the 40 German blue chip companies, that's those companies listed in the DAX index, there are 18 that are currently buying back their own shares. And some are shelling out big bucks. Industrial giant Siemens is spending 6 billion euros on taking some of its shares off the market. And it's the same amount over at DHL, that's a postal and logistics company. Business software giant SAP is spending 5 billion, as is Mercedes-Benz. And then there's BMW, Daimler Truck, Allianz, and some others who have scheduled 2 billion to be spent. Now, all of this is, of course, pending shareholder approval, but it's unlikely that shareholders would object. After all, they are the ones benefiting handsomely of such action. That's because share buybacks, of course, lower the numbers of shares on the market, and that usually leads to higher share prices and to higher dividends. And especially in Germany, dividends are a major factor playing into investors' decisions.
And with so many unknowns, are there good and bad stock buybacks?
Yes, definitely. It just generally depends on how the company is doing. Now, let's take Munich Re. That's one of the world's biggest reinsurance companies. They're looking at great cash flow right now. They have a ton of liquidity and they're spending it on a buyback because they don't find anything better to do with that money. Not necessarily a bad idea, because in the past we've seen companies with too much money and just bad ideas on how to spend it. Just look at Bayer's disastrous takeover of Monsanto. That looked like a good idea at the time when they had too much cash sitting around, but the deal almost destroyed the company. So a buyback at the time would have been a much better option. Or look at SAP right now. They're buying back stocks to put into stock-based bonus programs for high-ranking employees. And that's a very attractive way to attract talent. But then on the other side, you take Mercedes-Benz. They're buying back stocks in the midst of a crisis with falling revenues. Maybe that money would be better invested into some research and development. Or at DHL, they're buying back shares while cutting back on staff, firing 8,000 people. Now, those people could probably use that money. So share buybacks are not necessarily a bad thing, but they can be.
Right. Lars, thank you for those updates.